ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे सुभिज्यस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। श्रीमद् गीता का द्वितीय अध्याय
Śrīmad-Bhāgavad Gita, chapter 2, verse number 3.
पाठ में हमने पढ़ा
In the previous session, we studied that Arjun
मनोभावना प्रकट की
expressed
भगवान
his
श्री कृष्ण के सामने
thinking, his thought process in front of Bhagavan,
नहीं करेंगे,
and said that he won't fight
युद्ध के सामने
because
विरोध में उनके अपने ही भाई बंधु
his own relatives, his own family members are standing against him to fight the war,
जिसके लिए उनको नरक
and he will have to incur sin or killing them and go to hell.
अहोबत महत पापम कर्तुम व्यवसिता वयम। उन्होंने कहा कि हम बहुत बड़ा पाप करने जा
He
रहे हैं,
said that we are going to commit great sin,
केवल राज्य
and that too, why? Just for the pleasure of royal kingdom. We have this greed to obtain this kingdom. That is why we are ready to kill our own relatives. And what is the repentance or this sin? The repentance is that I myself should get killed by
ऐसा
them.
कहकर वो रथ में बैठ गया।
Having said this, he sat down on the
तब
chariot.
भगवान ने बोला
Seeing him,
कि आपको
Bhagavan
ये
said
ऐसी विषम स्थिति में
that
किस
in
प्रकार
this
का मोह
such a
धारण कर
critical
रखे हैं,
situation, from where did
ये
you get this
आपके
moha?
लिए उचित
It is
नहीं
not
है
befitting
और
an
ना ही स्वर्ग
Arya,
की प्राप्ति कराएगा।
nor will it lead
और
you to
आपका इससे
heaven, and
अपमान होगा, कीर्ति
you
होगी।
will incur defame in the society. You will be insulted in society. You will lose your name and
क्योंकि
fame.
शोक और मोह से
So when a person out
व्यक्ति
of lamentation and illusion,
तो उसकी
his
बुद्धि, उसका विवेक
intelligence gets covered,
काम नहीं
his the
करता,
sense of discrimination does not
वो
work
ठीक से
anymore.
निर्णय नहीं ले सकता है, तो उसको
He
धर्म
becomes
अधर्म दिखाई
unable to
देता
take
है
proper decision.
और
He
अधर्म
starts
धर्म
seeing
दिखाई देता
dharma as adharma and adharma or
है। और
irreligion as religion.
ऐसा करने से उसको शांति प्राप्त नहीं हो
Because
पाती है, सुख प्राप्त नहीं
and
हो
in
पाता
such a situation he
है।
cannot be
भगवान ने
peaceful,
गीता
he
में
cannot be
और
happy.
शास्त्र की
In Gita, Bhagavan
बातों
has
को
said
सुनकर
those
अपने
who
मन से चलते हैं उनको
transgress
बुद्धि शांति
the
सुख प्राप्त नहीं
rules
होता।
of Shastra, they will never be
मनुष्य
peaceful, never
जीवन
be
काम
happy.
कारक न ते शांति मवाप्नोति न सुखम न पराम गति। तो ये मनोमुखिता है उच्छृंखलता,
So this is whimsical
क्योंकि
behavior.
अर्जुन ये नहीं सोच पा रहा है कि
Arjun is unable
इसमें
to
मेरा क्या
think
धर्म है,
that
इस स्थिति
what
में
is
मुझे क्या
the
करना
dharma
चाहिए।
in this situation, what is
वो
my
तो
duty in this
ऐसे
situation.
प्रवचन कर रहा है
He is just
और
speaking all
बुद्धि को
this at a mental
धर्म
level,
बता रहा है।
and he
जैसे
is just
धर्म
speaking his mind out, and that only he is calling
नैतिकता
as
और
dharma.
अधर्म
So this adharma.
दिखती है और अधर्म जो है वो नैतिकता या धर्म का बाना पहनकर आता है।
So when adharma
मोहित हो
appears
जाता है,
being
उसको समझ
clothed
नहीं आता
as dharma,
कि
then the person becomes bewildered and is not able to understand what I should do or what I should
मेरा
not do.
स्थिति प्राय
So this is the
यही
situation
प्रतीत
of
कर रही है
Arjuna, and this is the
और इससे
situation
क्या
of
होता है कि
many people.
मन कमजोर हो जाता है।
And then what happens? The person's mind
इसलिए
becomes weak.
भगवान अगले श्लोक
So
में
that is why
यही
in
उसको
the next verse,
वो कोई उपदेश
Bhagavan
नहीं कर रहे हैं,
is speaking to Arjun. He is not
वो
actually
कहते हैं कि
giving some lecture.
कामात्मगमः पार्थ नैतत्त्वयि उपपद्यते क्षुद्रम हृदय दौर्बल्यम त्यक्तोत्तिष्ठ परंतप। कहते हैं कि हे
So
पार्थ,
verse number 3
हे
translation.
अर्जुन,
Yield not
संसार
to
तुमको
impotency, O Partha
संतोष
Arjun.
नहीं देता,
It does not behoove
जो
you.
शत्रुओं को संतोष
Cast
देता
away
है
this
परंतप,
pity, weak-heartedness,
क्षुद्र दुर्बलता का त्याग
O
करता है
scorcher of enemies,
जो
Parantapa, and arise for battle.
तो जब हमारा मन जो है
So when our mind
मोह से प्रभावित हो जाता
becomes
है,
bewildered,
शोक से प्रभावित हो जाता है, तो हमारे
gets
मन
into
में
lamentation,
कमजोरी आ जाती है,
then
दुर्बलता आ जाती है।
we become weak-minded.
और जब मन दुर्बल हो जाता है तो हमारा
And when
विश्वास
mind
कम
becomes
होने
weak,
लगता है।
then we lose our
तो
enthusiasm.
जो कार्य हमें करना
Then
चाहिए, जो हमारा
whatever we
कर्तव्य
should
है,
do, whatever is our
जिससे
duty,
हमको सुख शांति मिलेगी, जिससे हमारे
by
उद्देश्य
which
पूर्ण
we
होंगे,
will get peace and happiness and we
वो
will
नहीं
be
हो
able
पा
to
रहा है,
achieve our
उसमें
goal,
रुचि नहीं
we
है,
become unable to
शांति
perform
नहीं
that
है।
duty. We lose interest in that
इसलिए
activity. We fall
भगवान
into dejection.
यहाँ कह रहे हैं कि क्लैब्यम
That is
मास
why
मगमः,
Bhagavan is telling
अर्जुन
him,
बहुत वीरपुरुष
Klaibyam
है।
mas magamah
और
Partha.
इसलिए
Arjun
अर्जुन
is a
को
brave
पार्थ के नाम से
warrior,
संबोधित करता है।
and Arjun is being
पार्थ
addressed
का
here
मतलब है
as
पृथा का
Partha.
पुत्र,
It means the son of Pritha.
और पृथा
And
वो
Pritha
क्षत्रिय है।
is a
जब भगवान श्री
kshatriya.
कृष्ण शांति का संदेश लेकर
When Bhagavan Shri
हस्तिनापुर आए
Krishna
थे
went with the peace message
और
to
दुर्योधन ने
Hastinapur
उनकी बात को नहीं
and
माना,
Duryodhan rejected his peace proposal,
वापस आने से पहले
then before coming
भगवत
back,
गीता का
he met Mother Kunti
और उनसे कहा कि आपके पास
and
ऐसा
he told
संदेश
her
है
that, do you have
तो आप
any
दीजिए,
message for your
बोलिए।
sons? Then you can give me.
कुंती जी ने बहुत बड़ा प्रवचन किया,
So Kunti gave a long lecture
पर में आता है
to Bhagavan.
कम से कम
It
4
is in
श्लोक है
Mahabharat's Udyog
और
Parva,
भगवान ने
minimum
कहा
4
कि आप
chapters are
युधिष्ठिर
there.
को जाके मेरा
She told
संदेश
him
देना,
that go to Yudhishthir
और
and
उसमें वो बहुत
give my message.
शौर्यपूर्ण वचन बोलती हैं
And there
कि
she
प्राणियों
speaks
से
words of great
प्रेम करो,
bravery, like a Kshatriya
युधिष्ठिर
queen.
को बोलो
And she
कि वो
tells that tell
संसार में
Yudhishthir
काया पलट
that
ना दिखाए, अपने
he should not
धार्मिक सिद्धांत
show cowardice. You should remember that he is a Kshatriya, he is a brave person, and there has never been in our dynasty that we fall down from our Kshatriya dharma. And this statement is what she had told to Krishna. She told him that the moment for which a Kshatriya queen gives birth to a Kshatriya prince, that time has arrived. So you should remember that you are a brave son of a brave mother. Your name is Yudhishthir. It means one who is thira or steady in yuddha, battle. So this sattvic mindset that we should not fight, we should live peacefully, give it up and perform your duty, because our the praja, the members of the kingdom, they want that you behave as a kshatriya. She also told to Krishna, what does the word kshatriya mean? It means when one suffers from some injury, then kshatriya is the person who protects the other person from adharma, from injury, and one who encourages others to follow the path of dharma. He is called kshatriya. So this is the message that she gave to Krishna, and in this she also told a story and told to Krishna that please convey this story to my sons. So nowadays many people give promotional talks. So if you actually hear these words of Queen Kunti in this chapter, there is no better promotional talk than that. So she said that there was a king whose name was Sanjaya. His mother's name was Vidula. So Sanjay had a war with the king of Sindhu province, and during the war, that king Sanjay, he ran away and came back to home, to his palace, and lied down on his bed. He thought that he would lose the battle. So when his mother came to know about this, his mother gave him a long lecture. She told him very sarcastically, she rebuked him severely. What kind of a son are you? Is this for what I gave you birth? So she spoke a very nice verse. So she said that arise, get up. This kind of word comes in Upanishad also. So Upanishad also says that wake up, arise, and perform your duty. So this is what Sanjay's mother told him, that you should be resolved. You should have this determination that I will definitely win. Whenever you are performing an activity, you should perform with the resolve that you will be successful. So now what happens when people do something, if they have slight obstacle in their duty, they lose the enthusiasm, they lose the patience, and they just go back. So Sanjay's mother said that we should not be like this. Our life moves ahead according to our mindset. If our mind becomes weak, it loses enthusiasm, then we will not perform what we should perform. Then we will just roam here and there and we will waste our time. So she said that no, get up. So our human life is also like this. Whether you are on the spiritual path in the material world, whatever you do, you should do it with enthusiasm. And the sadhak on the spiritual path should be much more enthusiastic, because by Bhagwan's mercy we have come to the spiritual path. And so we should not simply be complacent that let whatever is happening happen. When Bhagwan will be merciful, then I will progress. No, Bhagwan wants us to progress. So that's why he's telling Arjun that wake up and perform your duty. Be resolved in your performing your duty. Get up. So fighting the war means we should perform our own duty. This instruction of Bhagavad Gita is meant for us. I had told earlier also that Arjun is his friend. It was not possible for Arjun to fall into lamentation. It is simply a method by which he is giving instruction to the Jivas, especially people like us who have come to on the path of bhakti. It is a lesson for us that how much we should be enthusiastic and resolved to perform our duty. We should never fall into lamentation, dejection. So for this we should remember the words of Bhagavan, what he has told in Gita. He told Arjun also that from where did you get this important mentality? So this defect has come from outside. It is not inside you. It has come from outside, so it can go away also. So we should never become dejected. Bhagavan has given us energy. Our mind, our intelligence, they are simply our instruments. They are not more powerful than us. Instrument is never more powerful than the doer. The doer is always more powerful because the doer is operating the instrument. But what happens is we start feeling that mind is very powerful. So how can we control it? So mind is very powerful because we have stopped, we have given up controlling it. Further in the sixth chapter also Arjun will say that mind is extremely powerful. So Bhagavan says that yes, it is, but it is not so powerful that you can't control it. Every person can control his mind. If somebody tells you that today evening you have to meet a billionaire and you have a dinner with the billionaire, and if you remain very self controlled and have dinner with him, talk very lovingly, then he will give you 10 crore rupees. So he will spend 2 to 4 hours with you, observe your behavior. So will you not control your mind and show exemplary behavior in front of him for that time duration? Everybody will do. So we'll give up our flickering mindset and we'll talk to this person very lovingly, very obediently. So what does it mean? It means that we can control the mind. It is possible. If it was not possible for us to control our mind, control our behavior, then we would not be able to do it even for 2, 3 hours. But that is possible. So if we are fixed on our goal, then we can do it. If a person is attached to money and you tell him that you will get 10 crores, you will get some billion, if you behave nicely for some time, then he will behave nicely because he is fixed on his goal of obtaining that huge amount of money. So similarly, when we know that it is possible for us to achieve Bhagavan, who is the husband of Lakshmi, who resides in his heart, and he is the husband of Lakshmi. So if you obtain him, so for that purpose, can we not live? Can we not live with good behavior, with controlled mind? But the problem is that we do not have Shraddha. We do not have that faith that whether it will actually happen or no. I have been engaged in it for long time, but I did not get any result. So why we do not get result? We don't get result because we do not perform sadhana with Shraddha. So the person does not want the results of sin, but he performs sinful activities very diligently. Whenever any person who performs any sinful activity, he performs it very diligently. He performs it so carefully that he should not get caught. But he does not perform his sadhana, his japa, puja so diligently, studying. He does not study shastra diligently. That is why he does not get the
कर्म में हम मन
fruit
लगाने
of
में
his
तैयार हो जाते हैं
activity.
क्योंकि उसका फल तुरंत दिखाई पड़ता है।
So in the wrong activity, we do it very
लेकिन जिसका
diligently
दूसरा
because
कर्म
its
है उसका
result
तुरंत
can
दिखाई
be
नहीं
seen
पड़ता है।
immediately. But it has
तो
other
इसलिए
result
हम
also
जो
which
मन
comes
लगाना
later,
चाहिए
which we cannot
हमें
see.
अपने
So
धार्मिक
similarly,
कृत्यों में।
in our religious
मतलब हम
activities, in
जितने भी
our
करेंगे हम ये
sadhana,
नहीं कहेंगे कि
we
मैं 2
should
दिन से जप कर रहा
invest
हूँ।
our mind fully. Then we will never
तो हम
say
बोलेंगे
that I
कि
have been
एक बार
performing
सीखा तो फिर
japa
सीखना
for
चाहिए।
such a long time and I did not get result. So first is that we
क्योंकि
should
मन में
learn
रुचि नहीं
what is
होती
the
है।
system of performing japa, performing
क्योंकि
sadhana,
मन
and then we should
जब
invest our
भगवान
mind
में
in that.
दूसरी चीजें
Why
हमको
does
ज्यादा रुचिकर लगती हैं।
our mind run here and
ज्यादा
there? Because
महत्वपूर्ण
our
लगती हैं।
mind gets more taste in those other things.
इसका
We
केवल
feel that
एक
those
ही
other
आंसर
topics
सही
are
है।
more important.
क्योंकि
And
आप
why we
जितने
feel like
सीखेंगे
that?
सारे
Because we do not have
संस्कार
shraddha in our
उसी में
sadhana. We do
रहेंगे।
not have shraddha in
तो
the
वहां पे
japa.
अगर हम अध्यात्म को ठीक से समझें,
So
अध्यात्म को ठीक
actually,
से
if we
सीखें, तो हमारा
understand
मन इधर उधर नहीं
spirituality
जाएगा।
properly, then our mind will not
भगवान का
run here and
विभूति
there.
यही है।
And
इंद्रियाणाम
mind
वायुर्भुवस्मि, भगवान का अपना विभूति योग में कहते हैं।
is Bhagwan's
ये तो
vibhuti
उसी के लिए
only.
बना है।
So it is
सर्वभागम
meant, it is
शरणम
for him
मम
only.
वाचांसी वैकुंठ गुणानुवर्णन। अम्बरीश महाराज के लिए कहा ना उन्होंने मन को भगवान के। तो
So
जब
Ambarish
मन को
Maharaj was putting his mind completely in Bhagavan.
तो उनमें मन लगाएंगे
So
तो
Bhagavan
जितना
is
आनंद
manmohak, he
आपको
attracts
जिस चीज
mind.
में आता है उससे करोड़ों से ज्यादा गुना गुण आनंद आपको इसमें मिलेगा।
So
शांति
Bhagavan is so attractive that we will get
भगवान यहाँ पर उपदेश दे रहे हैं
thousands and
कि
lakhs of
देखिए
times more pleasure
त्यक्त्वा उत्तिष्ठत।
investing our mind in him
ये दुर्बलता
compared
जो
to
है
anything else in this world.
इस दुर्बलता का इन्होंने
So
एक
Bhagavan
शब्द
is telling
उपयोग किया
Arjun that get up,
क्षुद्रम।
and he is using the
क्योंकि
word
दुर्बल का
Shudra
कोई
for
विशेष दुर्बलता
Arjuna's
नहीं है।
weakness.
ऐसा
That
नहीं कहा
means
कि
your
विशाल
weakness
दुर्बलता
is
कह रहे
not
हैं
very great.
कि बहुत बड़ी
Your
दुर्बलता है।
weakness is
सामान्य
very
दुर्बल है।
insignificant. It is pity.
तो जो जिसका नाम दुर्बल है वो क्या सबल होगा क्या?
So the weakness, the name of
वो भी
weakness in
कमजोर है।
Sanskrit itself is Durbal.
लेकिन हम कमजोरी को
Durbala means it is weak.
कंगाल मान लेते हैं।
So its name itself is
तो वो कहते
Durbala,
हैं
means
कि
it is
कमजोरी
weak,
जो है ना
but
ये
we
क्षुद्र
think
है,
that this weakness is very
क्षुद्रता
strong
कहते हैं।
actually. So Bhagavan is
तो
telling,
इसलिए
no,
इसको
this
कहते हैं
weakness is very pity.
हृदय दौर्बल्य।
It
एक
can
हृदय
be
की
given
कमजोरी
up.
होती है, हृदय की कमजोरी
And
होती
this
है।
weakness is in the heart.
हृदय कहिए, मन कहिए, बुद्धि कहिए, सब अंतःकरण है। और उसका मूल कारण केवल वही आसक्ति होता है, मोह।
So what is the reason for this
और वो
weakness of heart?
आसक्ति जो
The
होती है वो
reason
भी
is
आसक्ति होती
attachment.
है क्योंकि जिस चीज
And
में
that
मन
attachment
आसक्त है
is futile.
उसमें कोई अर्थ नहीं है।
Because
अर्थ का मतलब होता है
anything in which we
प्रयोजनवान,
have
जिससे कोई
attachment,
प्रयोजन
it
सिद्ध
is
हो,
the
जिससे
waste,
कोई
it is
तत्व सिद्ध हो,
vyartha. Vyartha means it does not have the artha, it does not have any essence, it does not have any
वास्तव
tattva.
पुरुषार्थ तो
That
भगवान
is
है।
vyartha, it is futile.
इसलिए
Because
गीता में
actual purushartha is
कृष्ण अर्जुन
Bhagavan.
जो है सर्वगुह्यतमं भूय शृणु मे परमं
That's
वचः
what he tells in Gita. That now
तत्त्वमसीत्युपैम्यहम्
I will tell you the most
तत्त्वमसि
confidential,
बताता हूँ।
most secret
आप मेरे
knowledge.
पास आ जाओ।
So that is you come to me.
क्योंकि हम जो अभी अपना प्रयास कर रहे हैं वो इस
Now
भौतिक
whatever
शरीर से
we
कुछ
are
छोटी मोटी
doing,
चीज प्राप्त करने के
we
लिए नहीं
are
कर रहे हैं।
simply working to get
इसलिए
some
अगर
petty things of
तुम
this
जैसे
material world.
धरापति, विश्वपति,
But
जगतपति
the owner of
वो
this
ही मिल
material
जाएंगे
of this world, if we achieve him only,
और उसी प्रयास से मिल जाएंगे।
and with that same effort,
एक्स्ट्रा प्रयास
it is
नहीं
not
करना
that you have
पड़ेगा,
to perform some extra effort
कुछ नहीं करना।
to achieve him.
जितनी तपस्या
This is
विचार
not that you have to
भक्ति
do something very
त्याग
great.
दया सहन
How
मार्मिक
much
सब
austerity, how
जितने
much
भी शब्द
tapasya
आ
we
जाएं
perform in our material life, if
लेकिन होता
we
ही नहीं है।
give even 10%
तो
of
ये
that
ये जो
energy in
बताया
spiritual life, we can achieve
एक संस्कृत
Bhagavan,
कह रहे हैं कि
but we
खड़ा
don't
होने
get
का
that
मतलब
energy.
बैठ
We
गया,
don't do like that. So that's why Bhagavan is telling Arjun that you get up. Why have you sat down?
उपवाविशत बैठ गया। तो खड़ा होने का मतलब आपको कहीं जाना नहीं है,
So
खाली
standing up
बैठा हुआ
does
है।
not mean you don't have to
ध्यान
go
रखिए
anywhere. You just stand wherever you are sitting.
क्योंकि बैठने से तो कुछ होता नहीं है।
Simply sitting, you will not be able
बैठ
to do
जाइए तो
anything.
उससे भी
So
बहुत
you
कुछ होगा।
just simply get
खड़ा
up.
होने का
That
मतलब है
itself
कि
is
जहां
great.
आप फंसे हुए हो उससे
Standing up
थोड़ा सा
means
निकलो बाहर।
wherever you are stuck up,
कई बार ऐसा
just
होता है ना कि
little
हम
bit
कहीं
come out
क्लास
of
में
that.
हैं, किसी प्रवचन
So
में
many
हैं
times it happens
और
like you are in a
मन में
class
थोड़ी
and in your mind
तामसिक वृत्ति आ जाती है,
some
वृत्ति आती है, तो
tamas
बैठना मन नहीं
comes
करता है
and
और ऐसा लगता है
you
कि बस अभी सो जाऊं।
your mind becomes very heavy and you feel like
क्यों?
sleeping. But if you just shake your mind head
तो
and you
हमारा
get
जीवन
up,
भी इसी प्रकार है।
then the
हम
sleep will
अपनी
go away.
छोटी छोटी
So our
समस्याओं में उलझे हुए
life is
हैं,
like that. We are just caught
परिवार
up in
में
our
या
small, small things of
काम से
our
जुड़े
life,
हों या हमारे
family
विचार से जुड़े
matters,
हों, कुछ भी हो,
business related
लेकिन इसको
matters.
देखने में
They're all
छोटे
small,
छोटे
small topics,
उससे
but
हमें थोड़ा
we
सा
feel
दूर
that
होने
they
की
are
संकल्प
so
हमें करनी पड़ेगी।
big If we just shake them up and come out of that, we will realize that we were investing our mind in very petty matters.
जो भगवान अर्जुन को बोल रहे हैं
So what Bhagavan is telling to Arjun is actually he is telling to us. This is what we have to understand,
ये नपुंसकता ये
that we have to give up this impotency which is in all our hearts. So we may say that we are world champions, we are very powerful. How can you say like this? No, this impotency is from spiritual point of view. From spiritual point of view, who are you? Whatever gold medal you have earned in this world, it will just remain here only.
बुढ़ापा आएगा तो
When you will become old,
उनको
big
वृद्धावस्था
big
देखो मोहम्मद अली
big big wrestlers like Muhammad Ali was a big boxer. See what was his condition in his old age.
चल नहीं पाता
He was not even able to walk properly.
को इतना वीर समझता था
He considered himself so powerful,
तो
so strong.
इससे
So
इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि
what it does not mean that in the society we don't have to live.
उनकी हमारे यहाँ
I told earlier also that the explanation of dharma that Kanad Rishi has given to us, that is
अभ्युदय
dharma is for abhyudaya and nishreyas.
और आध्यात्मिक
Abhyudaya is material
की उन्नति
progress and nishreyas is spiritual progress, and both happen by dharma.
फिर उसका पालन
But we have to understand that and then follow it.
बता रहे हैं
So this is what Bhagavan is telling Arjun.
परंतप इसलिए उसको परंतप बोल रहे हैं यहाँ
He is addressing Arjuna as Parantapa.
मतलब होता है
Parantapa means
पर को जो ताप देता है
one who scorches his the other person. Para means the other person.
पराया हिंदी में बोलते
Like in
हैं
Hindi we use the word paraya, the other person.
अपना और पराया तो जो पराये लोगों को ताप ताप देता है कष्ट देता है दुख देता है इन्हीं के शत्रु को पर का मतलब शत्रु भी होता है जो शत्रुओं को ताप देता है उनको हराता
So
है
it means the other person, one who scorches his enemies.
संबंध में हमारे जो पर हैं
So in our relations, who is the other? That is lamentation, illusion,
इनको जलाइए
attachment. So we have to burn them up by raising the temperature.
से निकालिए
We have to take them out of our
होता है
body.
पिघाल के उसमें से निकाल
Like gold, it is melted and then the impurity is taken out.
उबालते हैं
So from butter, when we make ghee, we boil it. So when we boil, the impurity comes out. So similarly, whatever impurities have come in our heart from outside, greed, lust, anger, all these,
निकालना है
we have to uproot them out.
यानी कि हमारे अंदर सब योग्य
And we all can do that. We all are Parantapa. We have this capability to do this. Because Gita is not for someone else. So Bhagavan has given this ability to us. And he is sitting in our heart
मैं सबके हृदय में
as the charioteer.
लेकिन अर्जुन में और हमारे में ये अंतर
But the difference between us and Arjun is that when we have a problem, we look here and there. And when Arjun is in some problem, that he goes to Bhagavan. This is the difference.
शरणागत हो जाता है
Arjun takes shelter of
साधिमाम तो
Bhagavan.
और हम
And
कहीं कोई
we
करता है
we and go and find shelter in some kind of intoxication,
कुछ और प्रोग्राम देखेगा गेम
some other programs, playing games.
समाधान निकलने वाला नहीं
So that is not the solution.
इसलिए वो कहते हैं कि उठिए आप
So that's why Bhagavan is telling to Arjun that you get up,
हम तो
and all these other outsiders,
भगवान के अंश हैं
we are the tiny Atma, we are Amsha of Bhagavan,
होने के लिए कार्य
and because we are his Amsha, we are meant for him only.
होता है जैसे हमारे शरीर के अंश हैं
Any object that is part of some bigger whole, like our hands, feet, nose, ears, they are limbs of our body. So they are meant for our body. So since we are Amshas of Bhagavan, we are meant for him only. We don't have any other role, any other purpose. But other than that, we are investing our mind, we are wasting time in all kinds of other activities. So that is why we are suffering. So these are all
वो अपनी है
outside stuff.
क्योंकि जिस व्यक्ति में आपकी आसक्ति
Wherever we have attachment,
देखा नहीं उसका शरीर को ही देख रहे हैं आप
whomever we have attachment for, we have not actually seen that person. We are simply seeing his body.
जला देते हैं गाड़ देते हैं तुरंत घर से निकालो तो
So when person dies, the people they bury the dead body or they cremate it. So the Atma could not be seen. So whom do you have attachment
ये
for?
भी नहीं
Whom
है,
are you trying to love?
और उस व्यक्ति की
The
आत्मा
body
कहाँ
is
है
not the
दिखाई नहीं
person, and
देती,
the
कहाँ से खत्म हो
Atma
जाती
you have never seen. So where is your attachment? So this is the
है।
moha.
ये इसी
This
को
is the
माया
illusion.
बोलते हैं, ये वास्तव हमारा स्वरूप नहीं है,
So
मतलब
this is not
हमारा
actually
स्वरूप
our
नहीं है,
swarupa.
इसलिए उसको त्यागना है।
So we have to give up all this.
छोड़ दो उसको, त्याग दो और उठ जाओ इस
So we
मोह
have to give up all this and we have
ईगो
to
की
get up, we
और ये
have
सब
to
ईगो
arise.
की
We have,
दुर्बलता है,
this is
ये
all
जो
weakness of
चीजें
heart.
तुमको लगती है,
What we are
ये जो
seeing,
आसक्ति है, ये
considering
आगे
it
चल
very
जाती है,
sweet.
हमें इसमें बड़ा
All
मन
these
लगता है,
attachment, we find them very sweet.
मन लगता है,
Attachments in
ये उसकी
relatives,
दुर्बलता है।
we find it very sweet.
बात
But
करने
this
में
is
भी अच्छी
actually
लगती
weakness
है,
of heart.
लेकिन है सत्य।
You will feel that it is very bitter what I am
तो
speaking.
भगवान जो
But
है
truth
उसके
is bitter.
प्रवचन से प्रभावित नहीं हुए,
So Bhagavan was not
भगवान
impressed by
क्रोधित नहीं हुए,
Arjun's lecture.
लेकिन उसकी प्रवचन से वो प्रभावित रहे।
Arjun gave such a long lecture.
वो भी तो कहते हैं हाँ यार बात तो तू सही कर रहा है, तो मैंने सोचा ही नहीं। कभी कभी लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं ना, हाँ ये बात
Sometimes people speak like this,
ऐसा तो मैंने सोचा ही नहीं था कि
that when they say something, they only start wondering
नहीं,
that what you told was right. I did not think about it.
जरा भी प्रभावित नहीं हुए।
But Bhagavan
उन्होंने कहा कि
is not impressed by what Arjun
को छोड़
spoke.
दो
He says
और दृढ़
that you
निश्चय
give
से
up your weakness of
अपना
heart,
कर्तव्य कर्म करो।
become determined,
तो ये
and
इस
perform
विजय
your
का मूल
duty.
है।
This is the secret of success.
सो निश्चय, धैर्य,
Determination,
प्रार्थना,
patience,
उत्साह, निश्चय और धैर्य,
enthusiasm,
मूल होते हैं सफलता
determination,
के।
and patience.
इन
These are
सबको
the three
संतुलित
secrets of
रहना है,
success. Always remaining enthusiastic on our
निश्चय
path,
रहना है,
always
कि
remaining
नहीं जो कर रहा
determined,
है गलत है कि ठीक है,
not getting
सबसे
becoming
पहले अपने
doubtful
आप
that
को
what I
जांचना
am doing is correct or
है
no.
और धैर्य रहना है,
Initially, only we should take out all those
धैर्य रहना है।
doubts and also
जिसमें
remaining
ये तीन
patient.
चीज होंगी, उत्साह,
So, one who has these
निश्चय
three
और धैर्य,
enthusiasm, determination,
और
and
अपने कर्तव्य
patience,
कर्म में लगा रहेगा,
and he is engaged
तो
in
उसको
his
सफलता
duty,
निश्चित
then
मिलेगी।
is definitely going to be
और उसके
successful.
साथ में अच्छा संग कीजिए,
And along with that, we should
ताकि आप
take good association
तो
so that we
प्रत्येक
remain
साधना में
enthusiastic.
शरीरम वा पातेयामि, ये निश्चय होना चाहिए कि या तो मैं अपनी सफलता को प्राप्त करके
So we should be so
अपने
resolved
शरीर
that
छोड़ दूंगा,
either I will
शरीर तो छूटता ही है,
achieve success
लेकिन
in
मैं
my
अपने शरीर
activity,
को प्राप्त
let my
करके
body fall away. But I am determined to achieve
ये
success.
भगवान
I
कह
will
रहे हैं, उत्तिष्ठ
not deviate
भारत
from my
जाति
duty.
वरान निबोधत। यही विदुला ने कहा अपने बेटे को, उसके बेटे ने फिर बात
This
नहीं
is what
मानी,
Vidula told her
बिस्तर पे
son.
उठा,
The son
अपना
listened to
धनुष
her.
लगाया,
He got up
धनुष
from the
लेकर
bed and he took
भगवान
up
के
his bow and
घोड़े पे
arrows,
चढ़ा,
his sword,
उनको कहा चलो फिर से
and got
जंग
up on
लड़ो,
the horse,
और
went
जीत हुई है।
and fought in the war and won the battle.
तो इसलिए उसका नाम संजय।
So that's why his name became Sanjay.
हमें भी इसी प्रकार अपना
So we should
प्रयत्न
also
करना, अपनी साधना में
act like this.
रखना
In
है।
our, we should be determined in our
ये जो
sadhana,
अहंता है, ये सब इसको
and
अलग देखना।
all these attachments that we have, we should see
भगवान
that
के मन में
separately.
अर्जुन की बात को सुन के कुछ कुछ भी संशय पैदा नहीं हुआ, ना उसकी बात से वो कोई प्रभावित हुए।
So Bhagavan was
इसलिए
not
उसको
impressed
उपदेश
by
दे
what
दिया।
Arjun had spoken.
कई
And
बार
that is
उपदेशक
why
जो है वो भी
Bhagavan
प्रभावित हो जाते हैं
told to Arjun, because
अर्जुन की बात से, गलत
many
बात से।
times what happens, instructors or the gurus, they only become impressed by what the disciple
तो
speaks
भगवान ने
or
केवल
the
दो
student
ही श्लोक
speaks.
बोले, कुतस्त्वा
So
कस्मात्
Bhagavan
एक
simply
सर्वप्रथम और एक लय
spoke
विशेष।
these two verses, the verse number 2 and 3.
पहले में उन्होंने पूछा कि कहाँ से आया है ये,
Actually, initially he asked from where it
फिर
has
उन्होंने
come.
शंका पैदा किया कि तुम जो
He
बोल रहे हो
generated
ये
doubt
तो
in
कुछ ठीक नहीं
Arjun's
है,
mind
तो
that what
उपदेश
you
क्या
have
दिया,
spoken is
कहते हैं
not
कि
correct
तुम इस बात
actually.
को छोड़
He
दो,
did not give any lecture, he
गलत
just
बोल
said
रहे हो।
that this is
तो
weakness,
ये
give it
सुनकर
up.
अर्जुन जो है वो विचार करने
So
लगा
hearing this, Arjun started contemplating
कि वास्तव में जो मैं सोच रहा हूँ,
that what actually I am thinking, is that actually correct?
लेकिन क्या
But
होता है कि
what happens
जब
is
कुछ बात अपनी
that
बताता है
when a
और
person
दूसरा उसका
presents his point of view and the other person
उसमें
counteracts
सहमत नहीं
it,
होता,
he
और
doesn't
जो ये
agree,
जाने कि ये
then the
गलत बोल रहा है,
person who
ये
was
गलत
speaking
बोल रहा है, तो वो
initially,
नहीं मानता,
if he understands that
उसका
what
मन
I
टूटा
was
रहता है,
telling was wrong,
तो
he
पहले
won't
उसको
accept it
युक्ति देना पड़ता
immediately
है।
because he also has his
जयं
ahankara, so he gives his own
भीष्मं
logic.
अर्जुन उवाच
Now Arjun is giving his logic.
अहं भीष्ममहं संख्ये द्रोणं च मधुसूदन इषुभि प्रतियोत्स्यामि पूजार्हा वरिसूदन। अर्जुन ने कहा है,
So translation, Arjun said, O destroyer of enemies, Madhusudan, how shall I counteract with arrows in battle Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? So Bhagavan had told Kuta from where this impotency came. So Arjun is telling Katham. Bhagavan had asked from where it came. So Arjun is telling how. How do I remove it? How should I fight? So Arjun is also asking, just like Bhagavan had asked. Sometimes somebody asks you, then you also counter question him for more clarity. Then the other person starts wondering, because many times people question, they don't have clarity about their question. So if you ask counter question, then they will start thinking deeply. They become forced to think deeply, and then they themselves start understanding what the mistake they made. So Bhagavan, when he told, now Arjun is counter questioning Bhagavan, because Arjun has got this doubt in his heart that if he is not agreeable to me, and Arjun has Shraddha in Bhagavan, that means he is understanding that he is wrong. So for more clarity, he is asking question, and along with that, he is presenting his own point of view with logic, that why he doesn't want to fight. So he is telling that Bhishma, our grandsire, Dronacharya, or Guru, how can I fight against them? So primarily we have two relations. One relation is through knowledge and one is through birth. So he is speaking from both point of view. Bhishma is related by birth and Drona is related by knowledge. So both are my gurus, they are my beloved. How can I fight against them? Because insulting superiors is like killing them. So the guru addressing as tu. So in English, in Hindi, we have separate word aap, a respectful word, and we don't speak to superiors with words like tu, which is for juniors. So when we speak respectfully, we speak using plural word. Like, so it is insult to superiors using these words. So, and here I am attacking with arrows. How is that possible? It is like killing them, and it is a great sin. And for this only he told that we are going to engage in great sinful activity. So here he is telling that counteract. He is not telling that I will start attacking. Yotsyami means I attack. Prati Yotsyami means how can I counter attack? That means when they attack me with arrows, how can I counter attack them with arrows? I should not do that. Because if they want to kill me with their arrows, I should die. I cannot counter attack them. Why? Because they are worthy of worship. I should offer flowers at their feet. I should bow down in front of them. That is proper behavior. But attacking them with arrows, how is that possible? If someone raises his hand on his guru or insults guru with some unkind words, so that is great offense. So these are Vaishnava aparadh, killing a Vaishnava, insulting Vaishnava, not being pleased at seeing Vaishnava, not offering obeisances to Vaishnava. This is insult. This is aparadh. And Guru is the greatest Vaishnava for the disciple. And Bhishma is a Mahajan. Out of 12 Mahajanas, Bhishma is one of them. Bhishma is a greatly learned
तो ये कैसे
person,
संभव है?
he is devotee of Bhagavan. So how is it possible to counterattack him?
संबोधनों का प्रयोग
So
उसने
that's
किया
why
तो
he
भगवान
has
ने
addressed
ऋषियों
Bhagavan with two words, Madhusudana and
में
Arisudana. That you are
मधु
Madhusudana
नामक जो दैत्य है उसको
means
मारने वाले
you are the
और
killer of the
अरिसूदन
demon named Madhu,
इनके जो
and you are
अरि करना,
Arisudana
अरि का मतलब
means
होता है
you kill the
शत्रु
Ari,
को मारने
the
वाले हैं और मेरे को कहते हैं कि
enemies,
आप मैं अपने गुरु
and
को
you
क्यों
are
मारूं,
telling me that I should
मैं
kill
क्यों
my gurus.
मधुसूदन बन जाऊं?
You want me to become Acharya Sudan, killer of
तो
one's own
ये
Acharya.
कैसे संभव है? तो इसी के लिए
How is this possible?
वे उनको पूछते हैं, कहता मैं वीर पुरुष हूँ, आपने मेरे को
That is why he
परंतप कहा,
is asking
लेकिन
that you
केवल
told me
यही नहीं है
Parantapa, I am a brave
कि जो
warrior.
पराये व्यक्ति को ताप दे,
But Parantapa
जो
means
हमारे ही लोग
who scorches his enemies, the other people. But these are our own
तो
people.
इनके ऊपर मैं कैसे कर सकता हूँ?
My guru, my
तो
grandsire.
ये प्रश्न
How
वो
can I attack them?
यहाँ उनको पूछता है।
So this is what Arjun asks Bhagwan.
पूछते हुए फिर आगे वो कहता है कि गुरु न हत्वा हि महानुभावान् श्रेयो भोक्तुं भैक्षमपि हलोके हत्वार्थ कामस्तु गुरु निहैव भुंजीय भोगान् रुधिर प्रदिग्धान्। इस संसार में गुरुजनों
Translation: it would be better to live in this world even by begging alms without killing those honorable and wise men.
संसार में
Otherwise,
अपने गुरुजनों
by
के
killing our
भोग करने
superiors,
वाले जो
the
धन
wealth
दौलत
and
यश
coveted items of enjoyment
की
that
वस्तु
we will
आदि
partake
हैं,
of in this world
वे
will
निश्चित रूप
surely
से
be
इनके रक्त
tainted
से
with their
दूषित हो
blood.
जाएंगे। तो वो कहते हैं कि ये तो महानुभाव हैं,
So he is
हमारे
telling
गुरुजन
that these are Mahanubhavas, our Guru Janas,
इनका बहुत अनुभव है,
meaning that they have great anubhav, great experience.
अनुभवी व्यक्ति हैं
They are very
और
experienced
मेरे
people.
गुरु हैं,
They are wise people. They are my
तो इनको
gurus.
मारने से मेरे को बहुत बड़ा पाप लगेगा।
So I will incur great sin by killing them.
फिर अगर आप इनको नहीं मारते हैं तो इन लोगों ने आपका राज्य
So,
अपहरण किया हुआ है,
but if you don't kill
और
them,
उनकी सहायता करने के लिए
these
आए हैं,
people, Duryodhan has
जीवन
usurped
यापन करने
your
के लिए,
kingdom and they have
तो
come
फिर
to help
कैसे
Duryodhan. How will you live?
भैक्ष्यम
So
अपनी
he is
हलोके
telling, I will live by
जीवन
begging,
अपना व्यापन करूं। तो भगवान कहते हैं कि
by
क्षत्रिय
bhiksha.
के लिए
So
भिक्षा मांगना
Bhagavan
उचित
says
नहीं है।
that you are a kshatriya, and for a kshatriya,
आपद धर्म का
begging
मतलब है
is
कि किसी
not
विपत्ति
allowed.
के समय व्यक्ति अपने धर्म से दूसरा धर्म
In
ग्रहण कर लेता है,
in a situation of emergency,
तो
that
वह
is
भगवान
apad dharma, one can perform others
धर्मों को
dharma.
मानता है,
But in Gita, Bhagavan
चाहे वे
says
मर जाना भी
that it
चाहे
is
इससे
better
कोई
to
आपत्ति
die
धर्म
performing one's own dharma rather
फिर
than
आपत्ति जब आती है
accepting others'
तब
dharma.
वो
But
क्षत्रिय
in an
ब्राह्मण को
emergency
कहते हैं
situation,
कि
Brahman
क्षत्रिय
can
भिक्षा
perform
मांगना
the dharma of Kshatriya, vice
लेकिन भिक्षा
versa.
मांगना ये केवल
But
ब्राह्मण के लिए ही
bhiksha,
प्रिय है,
begging, this is only for
कोई
Brahmana.
भी हो सकता है,
Brahman
कोई भी
can take
शिक्षा
bhiksha, he
लेकर
can
दूसरे
beg
को भी बगा
because
सकता
he
है,
gives
किसी शिक्षित
knowledge,
का
he
नौकरी नहीं
studies
करता
Shastra, he does
तो
not
उसको भिक्षा
perform
मांगना
any service, any job anywhere.
अलाउड है,
So for Brahmana, bhiksha begging
क्षत्रिय के
is
लिए नहीं है।
allowed, but not for
तो वो कहता
Kshatriya.
है कि मैं भिक्षा मांग के
So
जीवन
Arjun is
गुजारने के लिए
telling
ये तो
that
बहुत
I
बड़ा
will
पाप
live
है
by begging.
एक क्षत्रिय
So
के लिए।
Bhagavan says this is a great sin. You are a
और लोग
Kshatriya
कहते हैं कि
and you will beg.
एक तरफ जो है वो गुरुओं को
So
मारने से
Arjun is telling
पाप
that on
लगता है,
one side there is the sin of killing the guru,
जीवन यापन
on
करने
the
से
other
पाप
side
लगता है, तो मैं
begging
इस
and living is
पाप का
also
वर्णन
sin
करता हूँ।
for Kshatriya. So I
फिर
choose
कहता है
the
गुरु
other
न
sin.
हत्वा ही महानुभावान, क्योंकि वो केवल
So
गुरु
that's
ही
why
नहीं
he
है
is telling that these
महानुभाव,
people, they are not just our gurus, they are Mahanubhavas, they are greatly wise and
छोटा गुरु
experienced
है
people,
लेकिन
not
द्रोण
some
जैसा गुरु
small
ऋषि हैं
ordinary guru.
वो, और
His
भीष्म
guru
जैसे
Drona is like a rishi,
ज्ञानी
and
योद्धा हैं
Bhim, such a
और पराक्रम
learned,
है,
courageous
तो इनको मैं नहीं
grandsire.
मार सकता। गुरुओं
I cannot kill
को
them,
ना मार कर
not
उनके
killing
शरीर को
them.
त्याग कर मैं जो है
I will give up
शास्त्रीय
their
साधना
killing
करूंगा,
and I will choose the path of begging. That is better for
हत्वार्थ
me.
कामांस्तु गुरु निहैव भुंजीय भोगान, अगर मैं इनका
Because
इनकी हत्या करके
if
भोग
I kill them and
राज्य
I
को प्राप्त करता हूँ
enjoy this
तो
kingdom,
हमारा राज्य भी इनके रक्त से ही दूषित होगा,
then that kingdom what we will
यानी कि
obtain,
जब हम
it will
राज्य
be
के
stained with their
सिंहासन
blood.
पर बैठेंगे
Meaning that
तो
when we
बार
will
बार
sit
हमारा
on the royal
धर्म ही
throne
टूटेगा,
always we will suffer from the guilt that how did we obtain this kingdom by killing our Gurujanas. So how will we live peacefully? So this happened with Yudhishthir. After 18 days of battle, Yudhishthir, when he obtained the kingdom, he did not want to sit on the throne because he saw that so many people have been killed in this war. So many families got destroyed. Our five sons got killed. Abhimanyu got killed. Nobody is remaining anymore in the family. So he was very sad that what is the use of this kingdom. So that's what this means here, that whatever we will enjoy, all those objects of enjoyment, they will be stained with the blood of those whom we have killed. Means that we will always keep remembering, their remembrance will keep coming in our mind, and we will not be peaceful thinking that we obtained this kingdom by killing them. So in this verse, in the first line, he addresses Drona, Bhishma as Mahanubhav, very wise, learned people. And in the second line, he says Artha Kaman. So this word Artha Kaman has to be connected with Bhogan. Some people say that they have been addressed as Arthakam, Duryodhan, because they are supporting Duryodhan, who is actually the Arthakaman. Otherwise, Arthakam and Mahanubhav, they don't match together. Because the Mahanubhava, one who is Arthakam, one who has desire for Artha, for Kama, how can that person be a Mahanubhav? So that's why Artha Kaman Bhogan. So these objects of our enjoyment, like wealth, how we will enjoy them? Because they will be stained with the blood of our gurus. So I don't want all this. So this problem is in the society also, because we think that like Arjun, actually he wanted to give up his own dharma and walk on the path of adharma. But the irreligious path, he was seeing that as religious, the path of dharma. So this is generally what people do. They give up the path of dharma and walk on the path of adharma, irreligion, and they enjoy that. And whatever they enjoy from that, it is like that, like this only, what Arjun is telling. In that path, always there is some feeling of guilt inside. Whenever people do something wrong, they earn wealth by wrong means, then they always suffer from guilt. And even if they don't do that, they will have to suffer the results of that in some time. Because anybody who is obtaining wealth or anything by causing trouble to others, then he has to suffer for that. So Arjun is also thinking like this. But Arjuna's thinking is on a very superficial level. He is not able to see that if I do not fight this war, then I am encouraging adharma or irreligion only. Because these people will become more strong. Yeah, they may be our Guru Janas, they may be wise, experienced people, but Bhishma himself had told. Bhishma had told that wealth is nobody's servant. Wealth should ideally be our servant because we use it, but actually we ourselves end up becoming servant of wealth. That means it means that giving up dharma for the sake of wealth. So this is what Bhishma had told.
अर्थेन बद्धोऽस्मि कौरव। ये सत्य है महाराज युधिष्ठिर कि मैं जो है कौरव के अर्थ से बंधा हुआ हूँ। तो इस दृष्टि से अर्थ काम शब्द यहाँ उनके लिए लगाया जा सकता है। अर्थ काम शब्द का यहाँ होगा अर्थ की कामना है जिन्हें, क्योंकि जो
So earth means here one who is desirous of earth, wealth. When a person takes help from somebody, he becomes bound because of taking that help. That is why sadhu should be very careful in taking donation, because many people, when they give donation, they want to get their work done from the sadhu. So we see many sadhus who have very good relation with some politicians, officers. So these people, they give donation. These big people give donation, and the sadhu has to listen to these big officers, these big people, and has to abide by their wishes. So these Bhishma, Drona, they are very learned, experienced people, but they were supporting Duryodhan. They could have gone away from there, but they were living in the kingdom, and they had to be grateful to Duryodhan because they were living in his kingdom. So that is also one reason why they have been addressed here as Arthakam. Like Karna, Bhagavan had told Karna that you give up these people and come to our camp. And but Karna said that no, how can I give up? He is my friend, I cannot give him up. So if you take help from an irreligious person, then you have to be ready to perform some irreligious activity. And to show this situation only, the scene of Mahabharata has been prepared. That Bhishma, Dronacharya, they are so learned. Why are they supporting Duryodhan? The Guru is also the Arthakami. But still, I do not want to kill them. So today we will stop here. If anyone has any question, you can ask.
कोई प्रश्न? हाँ, दीपक जी।
Oh, Babaji, I'm having difficulty understanding that how is it that somebody in their material life they act with determination and enthusiasm and patience, and then that very same person when it comes to spiritual life they act entirely the opposite. And I guess the reason why I'm struggling to understand this is that if a person is lazy in his material life, then it is easier to understand that if that person is lazy in his spiritual life.
उनका प्रश्न है कि जो व्यक्ति
So the question is that the person who is very enthusiastic in his material life, on same person, why is he not so enthusiastic, determined in the spiritual life? Why does he become dull in the same person? Why does he become dull in the spiritual path? So the answer for that is, as I said in the class, is lack of Shraddha. That person doesn't have firm Shraddha. Shraddha is there, but it is not very firm, because our patience, determination, enthusiasm comes from Shraddha. In whatever we have Shraddha, accordingly we engage with that much enthusiasm. So our material goals, we have more Shraddha in them. We think that because without these things we cannot live. If I don't do this, I will die. So that's why we have Shraddha in that, and our mind remains invested in that. And in spiritual path, we have very little Shraddha, and we just walk on that on that path in a very dull way, in a very relaxed manner. So when Shraddha will increase on the spiritual path,
छोड़कर इस मार्ग में लग जाते हैं
then it will decrease in the material path. There are so many people who give up everything and walk on the spiritual path.
मोहिनी जी पूछती हैं, अर्जुन एक क्षत्रिय है, क्या उसका क्षत्रिय
So question, Arjun is a Kshatriya. Is his Kshatriya nature his Nitya or Naimitik nature? What is Arjuna's eternal nature or Swarup in Vaikuntha or Dwaraka?
पूछो वो विषय से संबंधित ही पूछिए
So the answer,
यहाँ मैंने कोई
or learn to ask
कोई बात नहीं
questions related to the topic subject discussed in the class.
है यहाँ क्या है
I have not discussed about all these eternal natures, Swarup and all.
हर एक व्यक्ति का स्वभाव वो नित्य नहीं होता है भौतिक है तो सत्व रजस तमस से
The nature which is material, it is made of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas.
सब ये सोचने लगो कि अर्जुन तो नित्य परिकर है तो नित्य परिकर
Now, if you start thinking that Arjun is a Nitya Parikar, he is an eternal associate, from where then he will get moha. So when we are learning some topic, we should to understand it accordingly and ask questions from there only. Now, if you start thinking all this that Arjun is Nitya, Bhagavan is Nitya, there is no question of any moha. So I told already that this is Leela and he is acting as a materialistic person. So now you think like that only and ask questions accordingly.
नवदीप जी 3 बातें कहना चाह रहे हैं। वो कह रहे हैं कि
Next
सबसे पहले
question.
धन्यवाद। हम ये किस तरह से समझ सकते हैं कि
How would turning to Krishna will solve the problems for ordinary Jiva? There are so many organizations for solving the problems of life. However, none of them are turning to Krishna. Surely, they would have turned to Krishna if they could see solutions materializing.
यदि समाधान को साकार होते हुए देखा जाता कि कृष्ण की ओर मुड़ने से हमारी समस्याएं हल हो जाती हैं तो अन्य लोग भी कृष्ण की ओर मुड़ते। पहला यही है।
नहीं तो प्रश्न क्या है मेरे को समझ नहीं आया
वो 3 बातें कह रहे हैं, मैं दूसरी और तीसरी भी मैं पढ़ देती हूँ।
How would turning to Krishna will solve the problems for ordinary जीवन तो पहले तो आपको देखना है कि उसकी प्रॉब्लम है क्या
So first we have to understand what is the problem of the Jiva. According to you, what is the problem of the Jiva? Then only I can answer how will turning to Krishna solve that problem. Because when you simply speak problem, how will you understand what problem are you talking of? So the primary problem of every Jiva is that nobody wants to be miserable, nobody wants to suffer. And primary desire of everyone is that everyone wants to be happy. Everyone will agree, nobody will say that I want to be miserable, I don't want to be happy. So whatever your problem may be, ultimately we don't want misery, but everybody is miserable, whether it is organization, you're in this organization or whatever. Taking birth itself is misery, old age is misery. So this problem cannot be solved by some institution or organization. This problem can be solved only by what Bhagavan has told, following that. So if somebody is hungry, am I telling that he should not eat? Is Bhagavan telling that you should not eat? Bhagavan is telling that you perform your duty and do it with determination, with patience. So what is wrong in that? And even if you don't want to be in spiritual life, even if you are in the material life, do whatever you are doing honestly. The problem in our country is that nobody is performing his activity honestly. Everyone is thinking that I should work minimum and I should earn maximum. Is this what Bhagavan is teaching? Bhagavan is telling that work enthusiastically, work honestly, work with patience. So it will solve your problem or no, whether it is material or spiritual. Second question, is it wise to be so determined to give up one's life to attain material success? Usually in devotee circle, it is said that one should not over endeavor if one is not achieving desired success in some attempts, but accept some other objectives which are attainable. So what is it that you can achieve easily?
क्या लक्ष्य है आसानी से बताइए नवदीप जी, कौन सा है जो आसानी से प्राप्त हो सकता है?
So please tell what you can achieve very easily.
प्राप्य है, उनके कहने का मतलब है कि
तो
जिसे
वो
हम
क्या
प्राप्त
है
कर
वही तो मैं
सकते हैं।
जानना चाह रहा हूँ, कौन सा है जो प्राप्य है, आसानी से प्राप्त है। और दूसरी बात यह है कि मैंने तो नहीं कहा कि आप सब कुछ जो है अपने भौतिक के लिए छोड़ दीजिए,
So I never said that you give up everything
भौतिक गोल के लिए सब कुछ
to
छोड़ दीजिए,
attain
थोड़ी कह रहा हूँ।
material
मैं तो ये
success.
कह रहा हूँ कि भौतिकता में
I
भी
am
सफलता पाने
simply
के लिए
telling
यही फार्मूला है,
that this is the formula for
सफलता पाने के लिए भी यही
success.
फार्मूला है,
Same formula.
ये शिक्षा दोनों में लागू होती है।
What Bhagavan has been
थोड़ी कह रहा
speaking
हूँ कि आप
here,
भौतिकता में
what we
डूबे
discussed
रहिए।
today. I never said that you just immerse yourself in material life.
वो मेरी समझ नहीं आया कौन सी चीज
And what you are telling which can be achieved very easily, I don't know what easy or difficult.
अच्छा होगा कि आप कुछ उदाहरण दे के प्रश्न पूछें।
वो तीसरी बात यह कहते हैं
The third question, in today's day and age, when adharma is taken as dharma and dharma as craziness, how does one understand one's dharma? Spiritual organizations propagate the only dharma of this day and age is chanting of the holy names. So one should engage in bhakti. Rest of the things, duties, qualities will follow. Is this a desirable approach to follow?
वांछनीय दृष्टिकोण है।
नहीं, दृष्टिकोण तो है लेकिन ये केवल एक
So yeah, this is fine, but this is only one side, one aspect of the entire spirituality. Because when whatever situation you are in that situation, you have some duties, responsibilities. The next point is that you give up everything and engage in chanting. Can you actually do it?
छोड़ के आप जप में लग जाएं तो ठीक है, यही धर्म है।
If you actually can do it, then it is the dharma, definitely, and I accept that. And there is absolutely no deficiency in that. Bhagavan has told yogakshemam vyahamyaham.
पकड़ लेते हैं,
So but the point is that we just hold on to this kind of statements, but actually we don't invest our mind in that.
वही श्रद्धा वाली जो बात आती है, तो फिर हम कहते हैं कि एक तरफ
So
तो
then
आप
that
कह रहे
same
हैं कि
point of
सब
shraddha.
यही धर्म है, लेकिन इससे तो कुछ हो नहीं रहा है।
So one side you say that just give up everything, just engaged in this is dharma, but you are not getting result. So you have to act according to shraddha. If you have that level of shraddha that you can give up everything and all the time just chant, then that is that excellent. Do it, and I guarantee you, Bhagavan will do everything for you.
मैं आपको सब सुविधा दूंगा,
You come here and just chant all the time, and I will give you all the facilities. But you actually have to do it. Not that you sit in the room and you're just busy with email, internet, and all.
शारीरिक आवश्यकता उनको छोड़ के जप करें, मैं आपको देता हूँ यहाँ सब सुविधा।
So you give up everything and just chant, come here, I will give you all the facilities. What to speak of Bhagavan, I will supply all facilities to you.
लेकिन व्यक्ति करता नहीं है, जैसे मैंने
But person will not do, just speak like that.
तो आजकल का धर्म क्या है?
So what is the dharma nowadays? The simple point is that the dharma that we call varnashram dharma, it is very difficult to implement that. But basic principles like speaking the truth, whether you are in whichever varna or ashram, become truthful.
अहिंसा, ये भी धर्म है।
Ahimsa, non-violence, that is also dharma.
अहिंसा मत करो,
As far as possible, do not commit violence. Don't steal.
ब्रह्मचर्य, अगर आप
Follow brahmacharya. If you are grihastha, have relation only with your wife, not with others. And if you are not a grihastha, then you should not have relation with any other member of the opposite gender.
जितनी आपकी आवश्यकता है यावत जीवित लाभ लाभो जीवित यावत, भागवत कहती है कि उतना ही लीजिए जितनी आपकी
Be
आवश्यकता
satisfied with whatever you need.
है, कीजिए।
Don't hoard unnecessarily.
इसमें आपको
These are simple things in dharma. It has nothing to do with your Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Follow this, Bhagavan will be happy.
उत्कर्ष जी पूछते हैं कि जय जी श्री राधे महाराज, दंडवत प्रणाम महाराज। जैसे आपने कहा कि
So next question is, as you said that we should, it is not our swarup to have rag or dvesh to others. But if I talk about myself, I get lot of pleasure in body, material world. Although I know that there is no sukha or happiness in that, but I desire to enjoy here. So my question is, how can I get this experience that there is no happiness in this material world?
नंबर एक तो ये है कि आपको सत्संग करना,
So the solution number one is you have to do satsang.
साथ में यथासंभव
As far as possible, be with sadhus, hear them,
मनन करना,
read the shastra,
मंतव्य निरुद्ध
deliberate on that, hear, deliberate, and then act.
कीजिए, फिर मनन कीजिए।
First do shravan, then manan,
दूसरा
that
जो
is
ये
dhyan.
सांसारिक भोग जिनमें आपकी आसक्ति है,
And another point, whatever you have attachment for, when you are enjoying them,
सजगता से
then enjoy them with awareness, not completely getting into them.
ये दृष्टि रखें
Meaning that when you are enjoying them, you should have this awareness that I am enjoying this, but this is the source of misery. Not that when you are enjoying, that time you
उस समय याद रखें,
enjoy and later you just think, oh, this is the source of misery. No. During the act of enjoyment, you have to remember that this is the source of suffering, source of misery. If you can keep this in your awareness, enjoying anything,
दुख का कारण है।
during that activity of enjoyment, if you keep that awareness that this is the source of suffering, then your attachment will go away.
दूसरा सवाल पूछते हैं, महाराज मैं देखता हूँ
Next
आप
question.
बहुत सूक्ष्म सूक्ष्म बातें समझाते हैं जिसमें मेरे जैसे नॉर्मल व्यक्ति
That
सोच
I
नहीं
see
सकते।
that when
तो
you
महाराज मेरा
explain very
उद्देश्य
subtle
यही है
things in a
कि
very deep way,
कोई श्लोक
but an
या
ordinary
शास्त्र
person
ऐसा
like
हो
me can't even
जिन
think
बातों
at that
को
level.
आप
So when I study
लोगों को
Shastra,
अनुभव दिला
then
सके।
what should I deliberate on when I am studying Shastra? How do I get the experience? So for that answer, first of all, you should have knowledge of Sanskrit because these verses are written in Sanskrit. Second, you should have knowledge of Sahitya. Sahitya is also a subject in the Indian knowledge system. That knowledge is also essential. And then Purva Mimamsa, you should have some knowledge of that. Then you will be enter deep into Shastra. So if you want to go deep into Shastra, you have to understand those who have written these verses, they are very deep. They have very deep thinking. So if you want to go deep into that, you need knowledge of all these subjects.
एक प्रश्न और है किसी का, कृष्ण कहते हैं कि हमें अपने धर्म का पालन करना चाहिए और इस समय हम किसी भी वर्णाश्रम धर्म को नहीं।
Another question is, Krishna is recommending to do our own dharma. In this time, we are not belonging to Varnashram. How do we understand what occupation is favorable to us? So whether you are in Varnashram or no, you have your own nature. Somebody has Sattvic or somebody Rajasic or somebody Tamasic nature. So whatever is your nature, you deal accordingly, work accordingly. Like in West, they say that some people are extroverts, some are introvert. There are two categories. So you have to see what type of nature do you have. Some activities are right for sattvic minded people. Some people are good in management who have rajas in their swabhav. Some activities for people who have tamas. So first of all, you have to understand your own swabhava and then you can act accordingly. And actually to understand that, you don't need a lot of knowledge. Whatever you enjoy doing. In terms of activity, I am telling. Not that you say that I enjoy watching television. Not in that sense. I'm telling in terms of occupation.
रात को 2 बजे तक करता रहता हूँ, तो इसकी मैं बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ।
I'm not talking about that.
Yes.
दादा रोहिणी प्रिया जी, कृपया पूछिए।
चलो पीछे दे दो, आप पूछिए।
धन्यवाद बाबा जी। आप कह रहे थे कि संस्कृत
So
और
the
हिंदी
question is that you were telling Sanskrit.
आप
And in other languages, we use the plural for speaking in a respectful way. So, what is the logic behind using the plural
हाँ मनोविज्ञान
when
वही
we
है
speak, have to
जैसे
speak in a
समझने के लिए
respectable way?
आदमी है
So, the psychology is
अगर
that
आदमी का
that
मतलब
when
ये
we
कोई
say this
होता
is
कि
a big
लंबाई में
person,
बहुत बड़ा है
it doesn't mean that
ऐसा
he
कोई
is
होता
big in
कि
height
चौड़ाई में बहुत बड़ा है वजन ज्यादा है उसका
or
तो
weight,
किसी को कहते हैं कि
etc.
महात्मा है
When we say
महात्मा
somebody
को
is
क्या
a
मतलब होता है
Mahatma,
महान आत्मा
it means Mahan
तो मतलब
Atma.
उसकी आत्मा क्या
It does
छोटी
not
है
mean that his Atma is
आत्मा तो
bigger.
सबकी एक जैसी है
Atma, everyone's Atma
किसी
is
की भी वही
of
आत्मा
same type
किसी की वही
only,
आत्मा
whether
सबकी
it is of ant
वही
or
कुछ है
elephant or whatever.
कहने का मतलब ये है कि वो एक
So the
व्यक्ति
point
में
is that,
हो के जैसे हम बहुत लोगों को आदर समझें कि एक ही व्यक्ति में जैसे बहुत सारे
like
समझ
there are many in
इस
one
तरह का
person, that like we respect
आदर
like
में
that.
उसमें बहुवचन का प्रयोग होता है
Babaji, you said that when one takes help from a irreligious person, that will result in you having to perform some irreligious act. So, how does one face a situation when sometimes one has some work to be accomplished and you need the help of a irreligious person?
No, it depends. Help. If you remunerate that person, then you are not obliged. Taking help means like taking donation or having a favor done by that person. Then next time he is going to ask you for a favor, then it will be hard for you to refuse if you are not, a religious person. If you are ungrateful, you can say no, I don't. But if you are a nice, kind-hearted, grateful person, then you will be forced to act wrongly.
This is in Pranam Babaji Maharaj. This is in context to Bhishma's being considered that he is attached to
हिंदी
the.
में क्यों नहीं बोलता है हिंदी में
भीष्मा के अटैचमेंट के बारे में जब डिस्कशन है
So the question is related to Bhishma's attachment.
उनका पिता का सेवा में
So
शादी करना रोक दिया शादी नहीं किया
Bhishma followed brahmacharya. He refused to marry just to obey his father. He gave up ownership on the kingdom also. Or if he would have married, his child would have become the king. So here it is, why is it being said that Bhishma became attached to
भीष्म जो है
this
वो राज्य
kingdom?
भोग के लिए अटैच नहीं है
So the answer, Bhishma is not attached to enjoying the kingdom. Is this much only that Bhishma is standing in support of Duryodhan. He lives with Duryodhan or no?
रहता तो दुर्योधन के साथ है उसी के साथ
It is
रहता
not
खाता
that.
पीता सब कुछ करता है
So he is living with
दूसरी
Duryodhan,
तरफ चला जाए
and it is not that while fighting he can go in some other camp.
देखिए ना आप
Think
खुद
from
को क्या
practical
समझते
point
हैं
of
उसके
view.
साथ
You live
रहते
in
हैं
a
सब
family,
कुछ करते हैं
you live together, you eat
और
together,
समस्या आती
and
है
when some problem comes on that
लड़ाई होता है
family,
विरोधियों के साथ में जाके
then
लड़ाई
you
होती है
go to
झगड़ा
the
लगता है
opponent's camp, then what will your family members say?
कोई स्वयं थोड़ी राज्य का लोभी है
He himself is
अर्जुन
not
जो है
greedy
तीरों की
for
सभा
the
में बैठा
kingdom.
था बगैर खाए पिए इतना त्यागी व्यक्ति है
He was so renounced that he remained lying on the bed of arrows.
क्या मोहिनी जी का क्या प्रश्न है
मोहिनी जी कह रही हैं कि आपने उत्कर्ष का जो उत्तर दिया कि प्रश्न का उसकी संगति में उनका एक प्रश्न है कि आपने जो भी
So the
उत्तर
question is that I'm not determined to follow what you said about being determined to follow on the spiritual path. So what can I do?
आप किसी की बात मानते नहीं है आप
So the
चाहते हैं
answer
कि
is you can't do
सब
anything.
किया जाए
You never agree to what I say, you don't follow what I say,
व्यक्ति की
so you
भावनाओं
can't
से
do
जुड़ा हुआ है
anything.
हमारे यहाँ क्यों कहा जाता है कि
You
गुरु
are
की
asking
आज्ञा
what
मानो
can I do? Can't do anything.
व्यक्ति जब दुखी रहता
Why
है
is it said
तो
on
कहता है
the
कि मैं क्या
in
करूं
our
तो
tradition
जब
that
उसको बताऊंगा कि
follow
मेरी
the
समस्या
guru?
नहीं है तो मैं क्या बताऊं
So
आपको
what shall I answer you? When if I give answer, will you
बात
follow?
मान
You
के
will not do that.
चलो
If you agree to
बात
somebody
मान के चलना
and
शुरू
follow
कर दो
accordingly, then only you
मैं
can
कैसे
do
बताऊं
something. So what can I answer?
आप खुद ही कह रहे हैं कि मेरे को वो तो सब पहले से ही पता है
You are already telling that I already know all
मान
that.
रही है इसका मतलब क्या है
So if you
पहले से
already
मान रही
know
हूँ
and you are not doing, that means you are
तो हम
acting
खुद ही कहते
whimsically.
हैं
Otherwise, what is the problem? What is the problem in listening to superior, to guru, and acting accordingly? So as I said, mind is not more powerful than us, but we just listen to the mind. We are just acting as slaves of the mind. Then you keep hearing, and then you say that I also know this, I also know that. So what is the use of knowing? Without acting, knowledge is simply a burden on the head. So you have to act, and the first step in spiritual life is taking Sharanagati, taking shelter of Guru. That is what Arjun is going to do. So unless you actually become surrendered to Guru, there is no solution for any question. Okay.
सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनंदनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मंत्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेतः यच्छ्रेयः स्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम् यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयोर्भूतिर् ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांघ्रये भवे भवे यथा भक्तिः पादयोस्तव जायते तथा कुरुष्व देवेश नाथस्त्वं नो यतः प्रभो नाम संकीर्तनं यस्य सर्वपाप प्रणाशनम् प्रणामो दुःखशमनस्तं नमामि हरिं परम्